We're back with another episode.
Sorry, I meant to just press that. Sorry.
What's up, girls and gangsters?
How's it going?
Guys and dolls.
Welcome back.
How you doing?
To another episode
of The Face Off with me, Monica Fleming.
And me, Alyssa Fowler.
Glad to have you here. It's been a very long week. We missed you all very much. I know you missed us, or why the hell would you be listening to this?
I know sometimes I probably look cross-eyed in the film because I'm like the producer and the editor. I'm constantly looking at the screen and not looking at the lens. No,
she just tried to make me feel like shit and try to flex on everyone. She's like, because I produce and co-host and edit.
You do the same thing. That's on your resume. Mm-hmm. You're a producer. You're an executive producer.
Cross-eyed.
You're also I do sometimes. I'm just like, ooh.
I forget the camera's there. That's why in all the videos I'm just like double chinned up towards you. And
then at times I'm just like, is it still recording? Is it still recording?
I always think I'm in an episode of The Office. I only look at the camera when I think it's like I'm doing something really intense.
Yes, definitely. How was your week this past week?
I went to work 5 days, 40 hours, like the rest of America.
Oh, I didn't.
What the?
Oh, because it was Martin Luther King.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm so annoyed.
I mean, the day was a blur.
I took it upon myself to work the bare minimum.
Oh,
this
yeah,
week.
Exactly. Especially, yeah.
Especially like the last couple of days, it was real gloomy outside. They were like very typical, you should be in your bed watching a movie days.
Absolutely.
So I took it upon myself. Any patient I had that was like chilling, watching a movie, I was like, now we're watching a movie.
Absolutely. And I'm getting paid for it.
And I got paid for it.
Yeah.
That was about it. Nothing exciting to report, unfortunately. What about you?
Cool. I mean, same here. I mean, work week was 4 days, but it took forever to get to Friday, which was very annoying. But nonetheless, it was fine. Just same old crazy stuff at work. We are tired of working. If you guys cannot hear that in our voices, we're tired of working our 9 to 5s. So we need you to share, subscribe, like, comment, get this into the hands of Issa Rae, Charlemagne the God, Joe Biden, somebody.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, anybody who wants to offer us a contract, Kev on stage, anything. Somebody.
I've got a great personality.
Oh, man.
I'm a quick learner.
We're not tired of working. We're tired of working our 9 to 5 jobs. We would like to be in a creative space to be able to give you guys more content, but
at
we
least
have to
you're
work
working
40 hours
from home now.
It's not always correct to be bored.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have anybody to
you're
talk
bored
to.
in the comfort of your own home. I'm bored surrounded by literal shit.
Not really, because I'd rather kind of be that, not back at the bedside like that. But I mean, I just hear everything that my neighbors do throughout the week. And I'm just like, hey, can y'all go shut the fuck up and go sit down? They're always banging on stuff. And the chickens are running in my fucking yard and shit. And people's kids outside. I'm just like, what are you doing? Garbage trucks. It's annoying.
There was a TikTok the other day and this girl was like, my dream situation is to like wake up, make my husband breakfast. He goes to work. I take the kids to school, come home, work out, drink a smoothie, make lunch. Maybe my husband comes home for lunch, clean up, make dinner. And she was getting flamed and I was like,
That sounds awesome.
Good.
That's what I want right now.
Chill. I would feel productive, yet calm. I'm sure there's a lot of things to do around the house.
Absolutely. Look how many baskets of laundry. Every time you come over here, I have another basket of laundry.
There's
and I'm
just
like,
things to do.
At some point, I need to actually fold this. Well, it's folded. It just needs to be put away.
I want a job where I just go in when I want to go in.
Exactly.
And then I get paid the same amount.
If we just had to just go in just to record content.
Oh,
that's easy.
You guys would never leave us alone. It'd be so good.
Seriously.
Be at the top of my game.
We have a whole talk show out here, you know.
This job's cramping my creativity.
Exactly. The man's trying to get us.
Truly. But that's all right. We're here. We're making it.
Yes, definitely. Well, we have a new
we sure do. Tell them about it.
Another new episode for y'all today. We're going to be discussing some things more so like this is going to be geared more so to like social media versus like, our regular content of like social media and stuff.
Of the hard-hitting facts.
Exactly. So first off the backs of people keep dying, these celebrities, Andre Talley. Do you know who Andre Talley is?
I know Andrea Botticelli.
Okay, not the opera singer, Andre Talley.
Never heard of him.
He was the former editor-in-chief, black guy of Vogue, and he used to always do like a lot, like commentary for a lot of the Met Galas and all that kind of stuff. He always wore these.
I do remember that.
Beautiful garbs he used to wear, like always extravagant
turbans.
No, not muumuus. They were like decorative muumuus to a degree, but he always wore those. But yeah, he was like a fashion icon, basically, to say the least.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, do you know a picture of him? Like,
Yeah,
do you need to Google it?
Yeah, you can keep talking.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
Well, anyway, he died. He died the other week, last week actually, this past week, and it was crazy. So the fashion industry is definitely mourning him.
Yes, like this. Yes, Oscar Proud looking ass face. I remember.
I hate you. He does kind of look like Oscar Proud. Yeah, he does. But that from the Proud family, if you don't know who Oscar Proud is. But yeah, the fashion icon the fashion world has definitely lost a legend and an icon. He was the former editor in chief of Vogue magazine. What's her name? Anna Wintour was his like really good friend. A lot of people were saying like on social media like, oh well, they did all this, they celebrated him and but they really didn't. So they didn't give him his flowers while he was alive because he was facing bankruptcy and then he was like evicted out of his house and all this other kind of stuff. And they were just like, oh, he was friends with all these people with money. And I'm just like, just because you're friends with somebody with money doesn't mean that they need to pay your bills or that's their job to pay your bills to get you on your feet, because they could give you money and you could be a horrible steward of your finances.
Unless I'm the famous person, please bail me out.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Please bail me out. Definitely. But at the same time,
no, I agree. I feel like it's that hard balance between, if you didn't grow up with money, I feel like when you get a large sum of money, your first inclination is like, well, now I have money. Now we can do things. Now I can help you and help you and help you.
Yeah.
You got to protect yourself. You got to invest for yourself.
You do. And you have to put yourself in positions where you are educated about money, especially when you come into large amounts of money. You have to educate where to put your money and how to spend it and where to put stuff aside and make sure that things are, taken care of. And I'm not saying that was a story because that's all alleged. I don't, know that to be true, but people were just saying that, oh, he didn't get his flowers while he was alive, which I didn't think he really got his flowers, but I'm just like, he was a fashion icon from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, fashion was, it's an amazing thing now, but in the 70s for him to be able to cross those racial barriers, especially in the fashion world, that he was a legend in his own right. But so that's definitely sad, and prayers up for him and his family, dealing with that, and all his friends.
Everybody out here dying.
Well, speaking on death, unfortunately, in the news this past week kind of shook the entertainment industry. Unfortunately, Regina King, who was an amazing actress, writer, director, producer, all that good stuff, she won an Academy Award for 7 seconds. 7 seconds. 7 pounds. 7 seconds.
7 pounds is Will Smith.
Yes, 7 seconds. It was 28 seconds. It was something about
7 times 7 seconds.
It was a movie about.
God, this is why
I'm not doing a very good intro of her. But anyway, She was Brenda on 227 back in the day. She also played Riley and. Alyssa, you don't understand how difficult it is to do this podcast with your Gen Z ass.
That's how I feel about you. You don't know anything.
You don't know what 227 is?
No.
You ever heard this phrase?
I know she's on the
Mary. You've never heard that?
What is that?
Sandra. That was Jack A. Harry. She was Sandra. Her mom. Jack A. Harry. She was Sandra, and there was Pearl and Look it up. 227. I can't believe you don't understand. No, 227. Oh my God.
227 was a sitcom from 1985. I don't even think I was an egg at that point.
But still, I know
sitting in an ovary.
I was born in 84, and I still know that show. But yeah, she was Brenda. She played. That's where everybody knew her from.
Follows the lives of a group of middle-class people living in an apartment building.
Yes, and so Sandra was one of them.
227.
Yes,
classic.
I hate you so much that you don't know that damn show. Anyway, Regina King was on this show. She also was the voice of Riley and what was the other brother's name for Boondocks? Yes. So anyway, unfortunately in the news, and she just did.
You didn't even mention she was Miss Congeniality too.
I was getting there.
One of her best roles.
Definitely Brenda was her best role, but
she was in Cinderella Story.
Yeah, she was, and she was in the Heart of They Fall. Not the Heart of They Fall. The Heart of They Fall with Idris Elba recently.
And what was I about to say?
She also played in Friday. She was Ice Cube's sister.
Watchmen is what I was going to say. She's in the HBO show Watchmen.
Oh, is she? Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. She's good.
I was going to say she was in American Horror Story, but that's Angela Bassett.
Poetic Justice.
Yes, Poetic Justice she played in. But anyway, it's really not, it's about her, but unfortunately her 26-year-old son, I'm going to say allegedly because of the protection of the podcast, committed suicide right after his 26th birthday. And that was her only son, and she actually played, and that's why we're bringing up the movie 7. Is it 7 seconds or 28 seconds, something like that? It was a movie about. That's when she won her Academy Award. Or was it
7 seconds?
7 seconds. Yeah, I knew it. I know what I was talking about. It was a movie about her son being murdered. And she said it was very difficult for her to even take on that role because she couldn't imagine losing her son. And this was like, I think last year, a year before his Oscars, where she, gave that.
That's a Netflix movie?
I think it's on Netflix. Yeah.
Can I watch it right now?
No, we're podcasting. You can watch it when we're done. Okay. You're going to watch it in the middle of our episode? That's weird. But anyway, unfortunately, her son allegedly committed suicide. And so prayers up for her and her family. That's just horrible. It's horrible. And even too, kind of on the backs of that, remember I was talking about, the week that I was by myself, about the 19 victims that died in that tragic fire in New York at that apartment complex. And I think most of them died by carbon monoxide poisoning. Cardi B actually was in the news this week because she has volunteered and stepped up to pay for the funerals of all 19 of those victims.
She is a woman of the people.
I love Cardi B.
Me too.
Absolutely. She stays true to her roots, and Belcalis Alazar. I just love her. But also too, there were other celebrities that stepped up, like Fat Joe and Remy Ma.
Stand up.
And I just know those two.
A lot of other people, maybe you've heard of them.
Exactly. And they were also saying that still the other families, the surviving families, they still need stuff and still need supplies and things like that.
That's the crazy thing about a fire is like it takes everything, nothing left.
Oh yeah,
you gotta start from the ground,
the very ground. I mean, think about your license. If God forbid you were to have a house fire, what was the first thing you would grab?
Myself.
Exactly.
Actually, truly, okay. I'm thinking it's going up. I would put a bra on and shoes.
I probably wouldn't even put a bra on.
You just run.
I just run.
I don't even think I'd grab my MacBook. It's too old. What's my most expensive thing in the house? Is probably
I would just probably grab my purse and my phone.
Yeah, that's a good one. The phone or the purse. My purse is in my car. Oh no, my car's in my garage.
Exactly. My car's in my garage too.
No. So maybe that's what. No, I wouldn't even think about that.
Damn. I just let it all go. Insurance will cover it. I mean, you see all these videos too, like these Ring cameras catching a lot of these fires, home fires, and their neighbors like waking them up. The thing with me is I sleep I don't sleep hard. I'm a very light sleeper, but I have the nose of like a bloodhound. It's ridiculous. Like I smell everything.
That's good.
That's why if I had COVID, I would know it because I smell everything.
Me too.
Yeah. So, but shouts out to Cardi B and all those other people that are. People who are in the entertainment industry, people who are not, who are just everyday Americans that are helping out. Shouts out to you guys for coming to the aid of these people. It's so sad. What were you telling me about this student about a scholarship?
Oh, let me not
move on to something a little bit better.
Yeah, a little more fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak ill of the accused, so I'm going to pull up the exact name.
Okay.
But supposedly, her name is Mackenzie Fierston. 24-year-old.
She looks like a Mackenzie.
She had won a Rhodes Scholarship so she could go study at Oxford, which they abruptly took away when they realized when she wrote about her childhood poverty and abuse, and it was all a lie.
How did they find out it was a lie?
They did investigative work.
You got to do investigations for scholarships?
She's white.
You said it.
Maybe she painted the picture. She painted a real good picture at the University of Pennsylvania. They said,
this bitch lying.
She was like, and we lived in an Impala, and they're like, there's no way.
No, there's no way.
There's no
way. You
way.
don't even sound like you're impoverished.
Well, I mean, she
what's
called
the difference?
herself a queer first-generation low-income student, that she had bounced between various foster homes in her childhood. She actually came from an affluent background and went to a private school that was $30,000 a year in St. Louis.
I hate people. She needs a mental exam. What's the difference between her and the people who get the PPP loans? Nothing. Same thing. Same thing. Yep. That's horrible. That's horrible. Did she get like charged with something, or they just took the scholarship away?
I think they just yagaed the scholarship.
Just yagaed it? Okay.
But I'm like, ma'am, did you not just... There's a whole documentary about Lori Loughlin. You can't lie to these college people.
It's going to catch up to you.
Well, you're telling me, here's the thing. As soon as you win a scholarship or do anything, people post about it on Facebook, or everyone's so happy. Yeah. You have people who actively hate you from high school. Everyone does, and they're just waiting for a moment. They're tracking everything you do.
That's crazy.
And the moment they see a chance, they're going to take it.
Absolutely. I mean, I would. If I saw somebody from high school that was saying some shit and that was not true, I'd be like, they lying.
Dear CNN.
TMZ, they're lying.
Well, you went to a $30,000 a year private school.
First of all, that's disgusting.
It's too easy to track
That's disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. Ugh, it's disgusting to say the least. But that's what they do. I'm surprised they didn't just go ahead and just give it to her.
They're like, well, you really painted a picture.
Well, you know who else is painting pictures out here, specifically on faces with spit. We're gonna switch gears for a little bit.
Good.
So, did you hear about? Okay, do you know Pastor Mike Todd?
I love Mike Todd.
I absolutely love him as well too. I have his book.
The relationship book?
Yes, that relationship book.
Why can't I remember what it's called? But everyone was buying it.
He has on like a teal suit. I know that in the picture.
Yeah. Blue background. Yes. I love all his little kids.
Yeah. So Mike Todd
relationship talk?
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, I think it is. Relationship talk. Anyway, so Pastor Mike Todd was in the news this past week because of a very controversial video that was surfacing, right? And he was preaching, and Pastor Mike Todd is a pastor who likes to bring the Bible to life and make it very relatable for people.
He was one of the first pastors who was like, yeah, I'm wearing distressed denim and some Jordans. And it's cool.
No, he was not the first pastor to do that.
He wasn't, but he was one of the big ones that was like, we're posting everything on Instagram. I'm going to make everything super relatable. That got big. That I saw.
I was going to say, it's very telling that you have not been in the black church because pastors have been doing that for years.
That crossed the divide over to my white church side.
Have you not seen TD Jakes?
Yeah, but like
he's like old denim though.
Yeah.
He's old denim, but
that's
still.
like a wide leg.
Well, even Pastor John Gray,
wide straight leg denim is that?
Yeah, he always wears like a tuxedo jacket and then some fucking jeans. I'm like, can you stop doing that?
This is the house of the Lord.
I mean, just come in a tracksuit and call it there. You don't have to dress up to go to church. But anyway, so yeah, he was preaching his sermon and he was talking about how being in uncomfortable situations and just having faith and all that kind of stuff. And so he used an example where he literally spit in his hand and like put the spit on the eyes of this, I don't know if it was a deacon, a minister, or whoever, a member of his church, and the man stood right there. So it wasn't like he just hawked it back and just spit in his face. He literally put it with his hands all over the man's face, and social media went crazy about it.
And I didn't see that. I saw the stuff about if you can't leave your abusive relationship, but I didn't know he was spitting on people.
Well, yeah, he didn't spit. He used his spit on the person, but he didn't hack it back and aggressively spit. But here's the thing that I think, especially because I grew up in a very strict religious household, Pentecostal apostolic background, right? So you can imagine the kind of crazy things we went through. That's probably why I cuss so much. Anyway, and I don't take shit from nobody. Anywho, but I think people forget, and this is not me defending him because I will never defend that. You put spit on me, I will break your whole fucking face off of your goddamn neck. That's number one. In the name of Jesus,
it's a whole kink. It's just
it's disgusting. It's disgusting. But and I want to preface this by saying he did come on. I think he was pressured after he got so much backlash. He did make a video where he apologized and said that he was wrong and that it was overboard and it was too much and blah blah blah. He won't do it again. Well, I don't know if he said he won't do it again, but anyway, he came out and basically said it was wrong. Anyway, but I think people fail to realize that pastors, evangelists, ministers, they're nothing but public speakers for Jesus, right? And they have to do their due diligence, or a lot of them do their due diligence in order to keep the audience captivated and keep them awake and alert. Because, you ever watch Joel Osteen and the way he preaches?
Yes.
And the whole crowd, or not Benny Hinn, what's his name? The pastor that's here, John Hagee. Right. But everybody in his church looks like
until he starts screaming.
Clear, exactly. Until he starts screaming and having a Baptist fit. But I think Mike Todd has always been this very radical preacher where he loves to go overboard. I mean, I remember one time he was preaching and he had a whole treadmill. And here's the thing on in the pulpit. Here's the thing that I think about pastors doing stuff like that. I think you get an A for effort for creativity, right? But I think you get an F for execution because the word of God is enough all by itself. So why do you have to go above and beyond to do stuff like that? Like people are not doing miracles like Jesus did in the Bible days where they're mixing, mud with saliva. He was actively trying to heal some blind guy. Okay?
But didn't he also host the Jesus is King when Kanye came to town?
Did he?
I think he did.
I don't know.
So he's on this new wave.
Yeah, I just think it's team too much. And I mean,
too much.
It's team too much. You don't have to. People are going to be receptive because it's God all by itself. You don't have to fluff God up and
obviously
make him out to be.
Because there's still hoes in the street.
Well, I mean, everybody's not going to be a Christian. Everybody doesn't believe in Jesus. Everybody has their own values. No, I'm just saying, and I'm a Christian. I'm a follower. Well, I'm a follower.
Spit in my face.
Jesus didn't do that. Why would I spit in your face?
Why wouldn't you?
Listen, I'm gonna kink shame you on that. Let me tell you something. Anybody spit on me, you got a death wish. Don't do that. Don't even put your spit on me.
A degrading ass action.
But I just think even in that moment, that was not God. Like God didn't tell you to do that in an example.
He was called.
Like you were, you were in your flesh at that point because, sir, we're in the middle of a pandemic. What are you talking about Jesus that would make you put spit on something? And the man who was standing there, and I'm just like, sir, what were you going through? What did he pay you to let you put spit? Like what, sir? What?
Ooh, nasty.
Sir. This is why I don't go to church now.
You're afraid someone's gonna spit in your face?
No,
I'm sorry,
definitely not.
Use their spit on your face.
No, because even in church nowadays, I don't let everybody pray for me. I don't let people lay hands on me. I will quickly get out of the spirit real quick. Get your hands off me. I'm a rebel Christian. Okay, like the church that I it's still technically my church. I still attend the
Bedside Baptist.
No, Love and Faith Community Church in Tallahassee, Florida. Thank you. The pastor is Pastor S. Lamar Simmons. Anyway, even at church there were a lot of times where like the mothers and the other elders and deacons and all that, they would be like, "Can I pray for you?" No, you cannot. Your spirit is off. I got a strong spirit of discernment. And all you're supposed to do is confirm what I already know and what God already told me in private. So if your spirit is off, no, you cannot lay hands on me. That's a transference of spirits, and I'm not about to let you do that. So no, you cannot pray. You can pray for me. Don't pray on me. Okay, keep your hands to yourself. Mercy is real. That's all I'm saying. Mercy is real. Anywho, but yeah, so. Don't be touching me. You touch my jacket. I mean, we've been touched by worse in the healthcare industry, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, I've been touched by. You've been touched by an angel girl.
Love for it. Anyway, but yeah, he was definitely in the hot seat for spitting on a church member.
He was also in the hot seat because he was preaching and allegedly. He was alleged. No, this isn't alleged. It's video recorded.
That's very true.
And he was like, disagreements are not a reason for divorce. Blah 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 is not a reason for divorce. Even if it hits you, it's not a reason for divorce. And everyone's like,
What was he saying? Biblically, the
Bible doesn't say that that's a reason for divorce. And everyone was like, the Bible was also written in a time where you could not just leave.
Well, I just think that's a very loaded statement. And I also feel like that's a very, I think it's a very inappropriate statement to make, especially in this day and time. And the fact that you know that somebody's going to take that and flip it, whatever you meant it by, for you to insinuate that people should not get divorced for domestic violence, when domestic violence, I think statistically affects more women than it does men. Bless you. Even though men do go through domestic violence, I don't think the numbers reported are as high as women. And so for you to even say something like, when you have a mic in your hand, you have a responsibility. Am I boring you?
No, I'm just having a moment.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say we can shut this shit down and go to bed. Not ill. That sounds weird. Pause.
I don't want to go to bed with you.
I'm at my house.
Remind me to tell you a story later.
Is it for the podcast? No.
It can be.
Oh, okay. Oh, anyway, I'm not going to bed with you. I don't like women. Anyway, but yeah, I just think that sometimes you just go too far and just stop doing shit like that. And also, people in the church, if you don't hear anything else I say, stop volunteering for stupid shit like this when pastors call you up. No pastor or minister can ever call me up and say, can you come here real quick? We need to do a demonstration. Fuck no.
I'm glued to my seat.
Get the hell away from me. I'm here for the word. This is why I go to virtual church. I don't have time for that.
Virtual church.
You have a responsibility when you have a mic in your hand, and you have to be very careful with what you say and how you say it, because you are literally representing not just yourself, but if you're talking about God told you, you're representing a man that a lot of people believe in and has a whole movement. So just be very careful with your words. Mike Todd, I still like you. I'm still going to listen to your sermons. You spit on me, I'm going to knock your ass out.
Anybody, dude. I don't want your butt on me.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. Didn't the CDC just say that COVID can be spread with bodily fluid, saliva, and you just gonna go and he hocked it back twice and then mixed it in his hand.
Oh God.
Like, sir, even in your flesh, why would you do that? I bet you if he did that to his wife would slap the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. You're crazy. Anyway, off that, what were you telling me about some Amber Rose? Something with Amber Rose was in the news?
Oh, first of all.
Oh, Jesus.
Have you seen Sebastian lately?
No, I have not. He's so cute.
Freaking cutest little kid. He's in that new like chunky 5th grade glasses stage.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm obsessed. Love that kid.
Yeah.
My favorite celebrity child. Anyway.
She's going to stalk Sebastian just watch
I will. I love him. Him and Stormy, my top 2.
I can't.
Stormy. I digress.
Yeah.
Do you remember the time that Kanye West was dating Amber Rose?
Mm-hmm.
You remember? Then he cheated on her with Kim Kardashian, and now we're here in 2022.
Yeah.
So he had gone on the Breakfast Club and done an interview after he had broken up with Amber and was dating Kim, and was just saying, you know how hard it is to get someone to date you after you date Amber Rose. I had to take like 30 showers, like just saying all this nasty shit.
Whoa. Definitely didn't know he said that about her. But
yeah.
wow.
And so, of course, she went on a Twitter rant because she was like, you are the worst. F you. But she tweeted and she was like, I'm going to leave the Kardashians to humiliate you when they're done with you. So now all these tweets are resurfacing because that's exactly what the fuck is happening.
Yeah.
So she put out this basically iOS press release, but she was just saying like, I was immature when I said that. I shouldn't have brought Kim into it. Believe this shit alone. It's dead. I have nothing to do with him. He was married with kids. I have kids.
No, don't backtrack. She meant what she said. That's why she tweeted it. But I think she's trying to show a level of maturity, and I get that, and I applaud you. But I was like, no. I said what I said because I felt it at that time.
I would say it's prolific.
Thank you. Prophet Amber Rose. I mean, she's spoken into existence.
In the year of our Lord 2022, I didn't think it would be Amber Rose.
Listen,
but it is.
She rose up. She saw that coming. She
did.
She saw that coming.
He's just been, this is a cycle. He does the same shit, and I don't know why anyone's surprised.
The thing is, he just needs this man needs medication, and he needs therapy.
He needs some spit in his face.
Maybe he should go see Mike Todd. Baptize him in his spit. That's crazy.
But everyone's bringing it up like she called it, she knew.
Here's what I want to know: people who bring up people's old tweets, like, God damn, are y'all screenshotting this shit?
This is from 2015. Have you just been scrolling on her?
Seriously, like, why? I mean, this lady has been married to Wiz Khalifa, and isn't she married to another guy right now?
She
or
may or may not be
engaged?
married to the baby daddy of her newest child.
So she's
Axel.
had 2 other relationships since Kanye West. So why are y'all even bringing her name
People
up?
are messy, but she's right. She called it how she saw it.
Amber Rose meant what she said back in the day. Do not let these people make you backtrack on your statements. You said what you said, and you ain't changing it, in the words of Nene Leakes. You just, at the time, you felt like that. Just leave it alone. Mm-hmm. People need to leave it alone. They're like,
on February 20th, 2015, so that was what?
You can't ask me to count.
7 years ago.
This lady got a whole ass got 2 kids. Why are y'all still attaching them two together? It's just like when people bring up Ray J and Kim Kardashian. They were together so long ago. This girl had like 5 marriages since then. I mean, Jesus.
At least.
I mean, the 72-day one she had, but it is what it is. That's crazy.
Also, I still don't believe her and Pete Davidson are real. That's not a real relationship.
I just don't think you like them together.
That's not real. And I think I think he's still a drug addict. I still think he's like just farming to have a child. He's trying to get everyone pregnant. I think
he's trying to get over Ariana Grande.
So supposedly they were just like crackheads together. Like she's a cokehead and he was
allegedly
for the podcast. She is allegedly a huge cokehead, and he was trying to get sober when they were together. She kept getting him to do drugs, and that's when he spiraled.
I'm just laughing at the way Alyssa is saying this.
We would never laugh at a crackhead here on this podcast.
First of all, crackheads are superheroes. Okay. They do things that people cannot do, and they never die.
It's like all those Netflix movies where you take a drug and you're a superhero.
Exactly. Crackheads never... Listen, they are Olympians. They can never die.
Yeah, and then he dated Cindy Crawford's daughter, and he was trying to get her pregnant, and she's like 18.
Why does he want a baby? Does he just want unconditional love?
I don't know. I think everyone needs therapy. Maybe he thinks the baby will calm him down and give him purpose. And
I mean, I've heard that kids do that.
Yeah, so I don't know. But
that kids save your life.
Kim's not going to give you a baby. She's already got 4.
Well, first of all, she almost died having like not North. What was the other one after that one? The second one. Yeah, the second one, because she was...
no. It's North, Rain, Chicago,
does she have a surrogate?
Psalm was a surrogate baby.
Oh, okay, because she almost died, or she had like...
She almost died with Chicago, I guess.
Yeah, preeclampsia or something like that she had allegedly or whatever.
I always have issues. Speaking of surrogate babies, Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra, another alleged marriage. I think it's her PR.
Woman. She's a beautiful woman.
Whatever, she's annoying. I think their marriage is fake, but they just had a surrogate baby.
That took a turn. Jesus, why do you think their marriage is fake?
I just think it's a huge PR stunt, and then she just did the thing where she was Priyanka Chopra Jonas on Instagram, but she took off the Jonas part, and everyone was like, "Are they gonna get a divorce?" So they get everyone talking. And I just don't think anything's real. I think she thought adding Jonas to her name would make her a bigger star, and then India was like, "We're done with you."
She was already a big star anyway.
Yeah, she was big over there, and I think she's trying to be big over here, and it's not working out for her. So now they just had a surrogate deliver their child, and
Oh.
Let's see if it keeps them together. I don't know. She's so much older than him, but he likes older women. I don't know. I just don't personally trust it, but
yeah.
Whatever. But
That's
congratulations to them and their new child.
I just think you just want a baby by Nick Jonas. I think that's what it is. I think you're jealous.
I'm just like,
Stop doing that. I can hear that.
Sorry. Make it make sense. The math ain't mathin'.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
Really?
And I think this is a PR stunt.
Wow. You're very passionate about that. Mm-hmm. That's gone too far and resulted in a surrogate
child
baby.
By surrogate.
That's crazy.
And they all had girls. They just had a daughter. They only all have daughters. All the Jonas brothers.
Well, you know what people say that like if you have a daughter first, it was because you were a hoe as a man.
I agree.
That men who are blessed with daughters, it's revenge for how bad you treated other women.
Because
that
once
you were
upon
a cheater
time,
too.
Not long ago, you were a hoe.
I mean, I'm just only using this as an example because he has 4 daughters. Charlemagne the God. And he admits that he was a cheater on his wife at one point. I don't think he was cheating while they were married, but they were together. This man has 4 daughters.
It's a lot of daughters.
But then what does that say about my dad? He had 3 daughters.
Hey.
So,
but
he didn't have us first. My brother was first.
There you go. It just matters who's first.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But then I have uncles who have all girls. So I'm like,
doesn't look good for you.
I don't know what you was doing back in the day. Papa was a rolling stone. But
yeah, but a lot of social media news this week. That happened. I don't think we talked about Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox being engaged, but they are engaged, and that is the weirdest relationship.
That's the one from Transformers, right? Yes.
That is truly, I think, the weirdest relationship that came out of 2021 was the two of them.
Really? Wow.
That is so strange to me. But she's got a nice ring.
Sounds like you're hating from outside the club.
Because I can't get in.
Because you can't get in. Why are you hating on these people?
Because he designed an engagement ring that hurts when she takes it off because, quote, love is pain. That's weird.
Those are the crackheads.
No, he is a drug addict.
Okay.
Because supposedly... Do you ever remember? You probably don't because it's not important, but
right,
it's literally this very niche part of social media. And like 2018-ish times, I think after Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande broke up because Pete Davidson and Machine Gun Kelly are friends.
Did you know the real pronunciation of her last name is
Grandy? Isn't that gross? I don't like to say it. It doesn't feel good coming off the tongue.
Oh gosh, sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
So he was like on this horrible spiral. Everyone had been saying if she breaks up with him, he's gonna. Himself unalive himself. So he tweeted he Instagram posted or something, and he was like, I'm really trying to hold it together for all y'all, but I don't want to be on this world, and I don't know how much, like all this weird cryptic shit. So supposedly Ariana Grande ran down to 30 Rock because he was filming SNL. They wouldn't let her in because they were under strict instructions that she wasn't supposed to be around him because they were going through this crazy divorce. And so Machine Gun Kelly came down there to be with him because he was like, what the hell's going on? And he was trying to console him. And then Machine Gun Kelly had to leave because he had to go do drugs. Allegedly is the rumor.
I was going to say, that seems like a lot.
Allegedly. But I'm like, you left this man who was suicidal to go do drugs?
Drugs are calling. The drugs are calling.
I'm just saying he's a little strange. Also, there's all these weird stories about them and Marilyn Manson together, and I don't trust Marilyn Manson.
That's a whole nother talk show. Sweet Lamb of God.
So, good luck to them.
Yeah, Godspeed.
Congratulations on the marriage. I guess don't ever take off your ring because it's gonna make you bleed, girl. There's like thorns on it.
If you buy me a ring that has thorns on it, we're not getting married because that's a kink that I don't want. Like if you want to see me bleed. That's a problem because then you're going to be, ooh, let me stab you one time. Oh, I'm getting my rocks off. What the I'll kill you. Don't do that. I'm not into pain no, not at all.
Not for you.
Speaking of other people in pain, Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears.
Jamie Lynn is out of pocket, dude.
Here's what I want to preface this by saying. Anytime siblings are going at it, whether they're famous or not, never jump in the middle. Just don't. Let them duke it out to the death or whatever is going to happen. Why are Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn going at it right now?
Jamie Lynn has started to do like a book tour.
Yes, she has, with no book.
And she's just like, here I am. My name's Jamie and I have a story to tell. Yeah. And they're like, girl.
I think she's trying to make herself look better now that Britney Spears is no longer under the conservatorship. And she's like trying to redeem herself some kind of way. I don't know.
I think when all of these, so Jamie Lynn Spears was only popular for a very small amount of time. She had that Zoe 101 Nickelodeon show. She got pregnant, got kicked out of the show. Everyone hated her because that was the show. Yeah. Right. And then she kind of disappeared. So when all this conservator stuff is coming out, everyone's saying like, well, where the hell's your sister? Because I know if my sister was going through this, my imaginary sister, my sibling, I do have a brother. Yeah. If my sibling was in this weird conservatorship and didn't have a voice or access to their money, even if it was our parents, like I would stand up for them.
Yeah.
So where the hell's her sister?
Right.
And so Jamie Lynn has decided to come out and say, you guys don't understand. This was hard for me, and I didn't understand what was going on, and everyone was being crazy. Yeah. And so Britney Spears decided to be like, I think the fuck not, bitch. And it is so beautiful to sit back and watch.
Yeah.
Because I think for the first time in a long time, Britney Spears can just talk freely.
Yes.
So it's not like the most eloquent or thought out, but it's
no
just
punctuation.
Like pure unhinged Britney Spears, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, that girl has been through a lot. So Britney Spears has the right to talk as reckless as she wants to this whole entire 2022, because you've been literally locked up for what, 13 years?
Something like that.
Oh hell yeah, I'll be telling everything. I'll be writing all kind of books and doing all kind of interviews. I will be talking your name down into the ground.
But I don't even think she wants to. I think she wants to go off with her little fiance and have babies and just live her life. And so Jamie Lynn's giving all these interviews now, and so Britney Spears was just like, I should have slapped you when you were young. You're ungrateful. You're spoiled. You didn't do shit for me, and now you're going out here and talking all this shit.
Where are her kids? Britney Spears' kids? Still with Kevin?
I don't know.
Kevin Featherline?
She didn't have a lot of access to them.
Yeah.
I don't know where they are. You want me to ask
That's
her?
it. I mean, if you have access to it like that, we can get on the podcast and hear her side of the story.
Let's turn the tables, Britt. You can talk.
You can talk. Hey, I'll give you my mic. Here you go, girl.
You heard it here first. Yeah, so I'm just gonna sit back and watch it unfold because I think it's so good.
Yeah, I think it's the greatest revenge in. You know, you can't make yourself the victim when your money and your life wasn't controlled by someone else for 13 years. And I think also too, like, how old was Jamie Lynn Spears? Are we being unrealistic? Like, she's her little sister. So how far apart in age are they? And when this conservatorship started, what real power did she really have over her dad if a judge court appointed it?
But here's my thing, and I can do the math on how old they are.
Yeah.
Britney age.
I was gonna say, but say your opinion before you forget it.
I can't multitask.
No.
Even if like you're in one of those situations where like one of the siblings is being abused or the parents are awful to only one of you, like you're as a sibling, you still have that little like, it's me and you.
Yeah.
Like there's shit going on, but like it's you and me together.
But it depends too. If this person is such an evil person,
they're 10 years apart.
See, that's what. So when I'm 10. Bitch, come on.
I don't know. Step up, Jamie.
No, but I'm not taking up for Jamie Lee Spears because I don't even know her. But I'm just saying,
Britney got you a whole ass show on Nickelodeon, and you blew it by getting your ass pregnant.
Okay, she liked penis. What's wrong with that? I mean, but what else could she? If she saw the father do that to her, she probably was afraid. Like, damn, he could do that to me and take my life. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. And if she was benefiting from it too.
And listen, have I listened to the interview? No, because I'm Team Britney and no one can fucking tell me anything else.
I mean, but I like Britney Spears.
As you should.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I mean, I just know that as a person who has two sisters, I know I would personally go for bat for my sisters.
That's
if somebody
what I'm saying.
But I'm very different though. I'm already like a bulldog when it comes to my family. Not a bulldog. I'm a Rottweiler.
Jamie Lynn Spears does have a memoir coming out, so
okay. See, that's the problem. So now you're trying to capitalize off of your sister's pain, and that's a problem.
It's called Things I Should Have Said, but it's not about her sister. But we're gonna use your sister's fame and everything going on.
Brittany, what you should do is you should send her a cease and desist from even using your name or likeness. So and block that book.
Oh, Brittany sent her a cease and desist order.
Okay, never mind. You already took my advice. But great minds think alike, Brittany.
Jamie says that she's writing the book to honor her voice and speak to the quote pain she's felt quote because that matters.
No, it doesn't.
No one cares about you. The only reason we give a shit is because you're Britney Spears' sister.
But your life wasn't affected by her conservatorship. She was the one who couldn't do whatever she wanted. She had to have a fucking forced IUD.
I think Jamie's trying to say, like, you guys don't understand how stressful this was for me. I never knew what was going on.
It's not about you.
People always knew about my sister, and it was so traumatic having to live through.
You're trying to now step out of the shadows of Britney Spears, and you're still clearly not stepping out of the shadows because you keep using her fucking name. See, now that's not brought a whole nother element. Fuck you, Jamie.
And we're Team Britney over here.
It's Britney, bitch. That is god awful.
But I love that Britney Spears has control of her own Instagram now.
I do
it's my
too.
favorite account to follow.
The only thing that I would say is, Britney, don't go on there and just start doing all that singing stuff, because you already know you're not a real singer. You're a great entertainer, but you're not a real singer. So just don't do that, because that's detrimental. Don't do it.
She's doing the shit where she goes to the notes app and just types out all her feelings and then screenshots it and posts it to Instagram.
Yeah, Britney,
dangerous territory, my friend.
Here's the thing, Britney. I am willing to be your PR, okay, and to scan all of your stuff before you post it, because that's not. No, this is people gonna try to get your conservatorship back again because you're just doing too much.
I don't know if this is a job for Barbara Walters or maybe our good friend Oprah.
Probably Oprah. I would say Oprah.
Who's the other one? That's not Barbara Walters. Katie Couric.
No, I think Barbara.
But I need to get to the bottom of this.
Oprah
and I would love an interview.
She did Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, so
that was a pretty good one.
Yeah. Oh, I would say Oprah needs to be the one to interview her, or even Robin Roberts. She's good.
Oh, it's just she does the news anchor voice.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, we could turn it off.
But she's good at like being dramatic.
Yeah.
In her
That's
interviews.
true. Or us at the Face Off.
Absolutely, Britney. We're here for you, girl.
We'd bring you to the table.
Absolutely. We will bring you to the Face Off and let you face off with your sister.
Ooh, what if she goes on the Red Table Talk?
That would be god awful. Please don't go to the Red Table Talk. Jada ain't got nothing to offer you. She in therapy herself. No. She gonna have you in an entanglement and fucking around with her. Don't do it. Just don't. No.
A situationship.
Oh, Jesus Lord. Jada is, sometimes I wish she just would be quiet. Anyway, neither here nor there. What have you been watching this week? Or anything else we need to talk about before we go on to what we're watching? Sorry.
No, I really think that was it. I'm trying to think. And 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I think that was it.
Okay.
Nothing really popped off this week.
No?
No. I've literally just been watching that show Yellow Jackets.
And how many seasons is it again?
1. It's just a new show that's coming
out. How many
out.
episodes? Okay.
10-ish.
Okay. 8 to 10.
I did watch Euphoria last week. You don't watch Euphoria, right?
No, but on social media, everybody's been saying, like, referencing Euphoria, like, oh, I don't want to go to work, but at least I don't have to go to class at Euphoria or something. Dude,
have you seen the ones that are like me getting ready for school and then remembering I go to Euphoria High School?
Yes, and I'm like, I don't get the reference, but they're only second season.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's not bad. I can catch up.
No, you can catch up.
What, HBO?
HBO Max.
Okay, I have that.
Perfect.
Boom. Oh yeah.
So watch it so we can talk about it. It is very interesting.
Yeah, I'll watch it this weekend.
Yeah, it's one of those shows where you're like, and then they go too far, and you're like, I can't watch this anymore. But then you're hooked.
Is it like sex, drugs, rock and roll?
Yeah, but high school kids.
Damn.
But like white high. If you didn't go to a white high school, right?
Definitely not.
This is very like quintessential white high school, like doing crazy shit and drugs. But you're like, that's too much.
Yeah.
Not like we're gonna go chill and smoke some weed in a ditch. It's like we're doing Molly at school.
I guess I had a boring high school time because me and my friends just hung out in the band room and. Yeah, we had fun. We weren't nerds, but we had fun. But I mean, yeah, we didn't do drugs like that.
I think it's pretty reminiscent of like what
we didn't do drugs at all. Honestly,
what a like upper middle class white high school experience is today.
Okay,
I think that's what Euphoria is.
Cool beans.
But it's good. I like it.
So it was relatable to you because you went to a white high school, right?
Yeah, well, I went to a really Mexican ass high school, but
okay,
it had very white aspects.
Gotcha.
But Yellow Jackets is still good, still going.
Cool beans.
Flight of high school girls on a soccer team crash in the Canadian wilderness. There's cannibalism.
I mean, what's better than that?
Sold. I hope you're all watching it at home.
Exactly.
What about you? What are you watching?
Well, first of all, Cheer is back on Netflix.
I can't watch it because I know all the weird shit with Jerry, and people keep talking about it, and I just refuse.
Okay, so here's the thing. The way it starts is like, and the coach's name is Monica, which is weird. Anyway, but she's talking about, how she didn't realize that the fame of this show was going to do what it did to their team, right? And then they go backward like the last 6 to 9 months or whatever, preparing for competition again. So Jerry is still on there. So they're going back in the time. I'm only on like the 4th episode. So I haven't gotten to that point yet of, all the stuff that he was accused of and all that kind of stuff. But it is still fun to see them kind of come back for their title. And then there's this other school that's there that is like their arch rival. And they're also following them as well too.
Oh, okay.
So you're getting to see 2 storylines at one time, but still with all these different kids or whatever. So it is back on Netflix, and they put, the full season out and everything. One of the other things that I watched, this actually came out on OWN, and my sister, shouts out to my sister Selena, she actually told me about this, and I watched it yesterday. And the documentary is called Eggs Over Easy, and it was on OWN Network, Oprah Winfrey Network, and it was talking about Black women specifically and women of color and fertility, and how there were so many different stories of people who were married, who wanted to have children, who could not conceive, women who were pregnant and lost their babies, miscarried, women who carried babies full term and lost their babies. It was talking about women who were on their fertility journey where they found out that their hormone levels were off and all this kind of stuff, and the fact that they didn't feel like they were being heard. They knew something was wrong with their bodies and they weren't being heard and stuff like that. So this is kind of like piggybacking onto the Rehab Corner as well too, where some of the statistics that they gave was that 80%, and I think this is really high.
It's a pretty high number statistically.
Yes, 80% of Black women at some point, sometime or another, have fibroids, uterine fibroids.
It's just insane to me that any population anywhere of anything has 80% of something.
That's what I'm saying. It's insane. And they were also talking about there was this one girl, and she's actually a physical therapist, by the way, which is
you're a physical therapist.
I am a physical therapist, and she was talking about how she was at the age of, I think, 30 years old. She wanted to be sterilized, and she knew that she didn't want to have children because she's like, she's was the only child of both her parents, and she had been around her friends' kids and family members, and she worked as a pediatric physical therapist, and she just did not want to have children. She was like, I cannot imagine going home and then having to care for something else. Like, I don't want to do that.
Preach.
Right. So she wanted to go and get sterilized, and how her doctor, it took her a while for her doctor to actually do it because they kept saying, are you sure? Like, you have to go through psychological counseling in order to get this done. And then they talked about this rule that was saying that if you are married and you don't have children, and if you want to go get a tubal ligation, which is basically getting your tubes tied, that your husband has to consent to it. So how the hell does a man have any kind of rule or reign over a woman's body? Like, that makes no freaking sense.
It's your property once you get married.
It's insane. And then even they were following this one couple who I was actually surprised to see them on there because I just know of them from social media, and because I think her name is Charmaine Broom, and I can't remember her husband's name, but his last name is Broom. Anyway, she was Kirk Franklin's background singer for many, many years. And so she was sharing her fertility issue, or her fertility story, and her journey that, she was having irregular menstrual cycles and all this kind of stuff, and how she didn't realize that she would be have a difficult time conceiving. She was just like, okay, I'm a woman, I got a uterus, I'm having menstrual cycles, it should be normal for me to get pregnant and easy for me to get pregnant. And they were just talking about and exposing how difficult it is for African American women to conceive, and how you have these fertility issues and stuff like that. And then they were because Keisha Knight Pulliam, or Rudy Huxtable, or Miranda Curtis from House of Pain, she's narrating it.
House of Pain.
Tyler Perry's House of Pain.
Sounds familiar.
Where their nephew moves in with the two kids, and then the Janine turns into a crackhead.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They get their life together. Yeah. So
every Tyler Perry movie.
Exactly. Exactly. So anyway, Keisha Knight Pulliam, she's on there as well too, and she was talking about how she, at the age of 40, I think she's 42 right now, and she, wanted to freeze her eggs and everything like that because she already has a daughter, but she went through a divorce, and then now she's married again, and so she's like, she wants to have more children, but then she's like, well, should I go and freeze my eggs because I'm more into my career right now, and all of the other kind of stuff. But it was just an interesting documentary to see the different sides of all these women. And they brought in different excerpts of Serena Williams when she gave birth to Olympia, and the fact that she had to fight just to get a CT scan to prove that she had fucking a pulmonary embolism that could have killed this girl. And then when people try to say, oh, well, it's not about race, Serena Williams is a multi-millionaire.
One of the most famous professional athletes in the world.
So it didn't even matter how much money she had at that point. They still didn't listen to her as a multi-millionaire.
That documentary kills
I cried.
me when she's just like, I knew something was wrong with my body and no one was listening. And the only reason they listened the next time when she had the baby is because she's like, I've had this before and I know what this is and you need to do a scan.
Exactly. And they were, it's normal to feel like this. No, it's not. I remember when I worked in postpartum labor and delivery. Shouts out to Miss Sharon. Oh my gosh, she was an amazing nurse. Is an amazing nurse because I don't think she's retired. She worked at the hospital that I worked at in college, right? And when I worked in postpartum, I remember there was this one black lady that we had among many black women. But anyway, this particular young lady, she had schizophrenia. And she was off of her medication, obviously, because she's pregnant and you can't take a lot of that, mental health medications and things like that, because it could potentially harm the baby. Right. So she comes in and she had already had all of her other kids taken away from her as a result of, her mental health issues. And, she was impoverished and Black, so nobody really cared. So we had already heard about her and her behavior in L&D, and they were just like, okay, well, she's gonna come up here. She wouldn't let the doctor fix her laceration or anything like that. So she's bleeding. She won't let us take her blood pressure, nothing. So of course, when she gets ready to come up there, of course they give her a white nurse, and it goes horribly wrong. So then Miss Sharon steps in, and Miss Sharon is Black, and she's like, let me take care of her. I got her. Don't worry about it. She pulls me in it and says, well, Monica, you're going to come with me. Cause I was the, like a CNA or
Black
a
girl,
tech.
I need
Exactly. So both a Black nurse and a Black CNA go in to help this young lady and to try to give her care. So we go in, and of course she's still very irate. She's still belligerent, but she starts to calm down because we're not giving into her acting out. And at one point, like, Miss Sharon left me in the room by myself. I was like, what the hell? And so I'm taking the lady's blood pressure, and she snatches the blood pressure cuff off and starts cussing at me like, this hurt my fucking arm, bitch, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's just gonna squeeze your arm for about 20 seconds and then it's gonna let it go. Just talking to her like she's a human being, because she is. And she finally let me do what I needed to do in order to do her assessment. And we were done. And then, of course, the state had to now come in to now take, or child welfare services had to come in and take this newborn baby that she just had. So, of course, those people go in there and they take the baby, and it's a whole fucking shit show. She comes out, starts throwing shit.
I mean, too.
Bleeding all everywhere, cussing people out. And I'm like, you got this whole ward of new moms, and this lady is like going ballistic. But it literally took Black nurses to be able to come in and help calm her down. And everybody else is looking at her like, oh, she's this monster. She's this crazy person. She has fucking schizophrenia. You don't know what the voices in her head are telling her. And you're not taking the time to even listen to what she's saying.
I don't fuck with auditory hallucinations. I told you I did that shit in grad school where they play the recording of the hallucinations, and I was like, I would literally lose my mind. Yeah. Because you cannot tell me, as clear as I'm talking to you right now, I'm hearing a voice, you're hearing a voice, and no one else can hear. You're not telling me that it's not real.
Yeah. And the sad part about it is, even though she was off her meds and couldn't, obviously be back on the meds because being pregnant, she ended up signing out AMA that same night. So I'm like, you just had a baby and you have a 3rd-degree laceration from your vagina to your rectum that needs to be surgically repaired. And she just left. She called her sister, she left. And then even just some of the chatter of the nurses were just like, this is just ridiculous. And I'm just like, y'all don't get it. You don't get it. Like, they don't look at African-American women as women. They already teach it. Well, they used to teach, or there's a misconception in med school that Black people don't feel pain the same way other races of people feel. And it's just like, you don't even look at us as human beings. So why the fuck would you listen to us? And then you have this huge push for Black women now that are reaching out to midwives. There's this one lady that I follow on Instagram. Her name is Midwife Angelina. She's actually in Atlanta. I would love to have a home birth. I'm not pregnant right now, but I would love to have a home birth if, I were able to, right? This woman is on Instagram showing like 5 to 17 minute clips of her with mostly Black patients, right? People of color, but I would say it's probably 95% Black, the people that she shows on there. And she is Black herself. And literally she takes the time to allow these mothers to labor. And a lot of times some of the mothers, especially their first time mothers, they're just like, Angelina, help me. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she's like, just calm down. Your body knows what to do. Like, even though you don't know what to do, your body instinctively knows what to do. But even just this big push to have, African-American, midwives and doulas that are being more utilized now and more necessary because people are having these horrible experiences in labor and just in the healthcare industry at large. I mean, how many times do we have a Black patient at the hospital and we're just like, no, we got to make sure we get them.
Oh yeah.
Because they're about to treat them like shit.
Me with every Black patient.
Very true.
Anything else you need? Yeah. You're independent, but I'll pick you up for services.
Exactly.
Allegedly.
We don't do that.
We don't do that.
No.
But
I mean, I can talk about it now, but yeah, I mean, you do. I mean, honestly, a lot of times with the Black patients, especially in the ICU, I would always make it my duty and my mission to make sure that they had the best care. And it's not to say that I gave better care to Black people, but I made sure that I especially paid closer attention to their needs, because a lot of times people are just, oh, it's fine, they're fine. I had an incident like that at when I worked at another hospital here in town, where it was this woman who came in and she seemed like she was malingering or faking, right? But she really wasn't. And at one point I was just like, it seemed like you kind of faking. But because that was my medical hat, I thought she was faking at one point, but then I was like, no, I think she being serious. Like, cause I did a series of tests and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I think there's something really going on. So she had an issue with being in an MRI, which again, I've had an MRI last year and it was terrifying.
Better give me a Xanax.
Right. Well, here's the thing. They ended up giving her sedation. And at the time they gave her the sedation, she ended up coding in the MRI machine.
No.
So when she would stand up and then just abruptly drop to the floor, and I'm like, bitch, you faking. No, she literally had a tumor on her C2 vertebrae that was pushing on her fucking spinal cord.
That's pretty high, C2.
C2.
I would say that's almost at the beginning of your spinal cord.
That's your respiratory center.
That's
just in case you didn't know, your respiratory center is at C1, C2. Okay.
Just so you know, your spinal cord starts at C1.
It literally starts at C1. That's all you got. You ain't got nothing above that.
Pretty high up.
I mean, you got your atlas and your axis. C1, C2, baby. And so she your atlas and your axis. But anyway, so yeah, she ended up coding and she became paralyzed because they had to resuscitate her, because at the time they did the compressions,
just compressing the tumor.
And the whole time everybody thought she was faking.
Yo. Hey,
and she's black.
Mm-hmm.
Black woman. She's faking. Well, now you got to pay for her. Now you got to pay for everything because you fucked her up. I mean, she was literally deduced down to like, she couldn't even move anything.
That's too high up. You can't do anything.
No.
That's the high.
No. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So Eggs Over Easy, to say the least, was an amazing documentary.
I literally, for someone who talks about freezing their eggs probably once every 2 weeks, I should watch that.
Well, do you want to have kids though?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you trying to convince me or yourself?
Today I told my mom, because she was talking about kids, and I was like, yeah, one day your son's going to have kids and then you can raise them. She's like, are we just done with you?
I was going to say, your son?
We'll figure it out. I would I want to never have to be stressed or worried about anything else, so I can like properly raise a child or like give it my attention and my all and like make a badass kid.
Yeah.
So I need to be financially stable.
I just know I need to be married. Listen,
that would help too.
Jesus did not call me to be a single parent.
I mean, I don't have the. No. Actually, I can't. My mom did it. That shit was hard. I don't know. I don't see how single parents do it. My mother, she is an angel. I don't know how she did it.
I don't see how parents do it all together. Even parents who have, like, there's two parents in the household. Like, I don't understand how, like, I know how I feel going on a job for 8 hours and then I have to come home and care about someone else and keep you alive and feed you and clothe you. And then you want to be in my face talking about, look at me, look what I'm doing. If you don't go sit your narrow ass down somewhere, go to your father. Go to your father. I'm tired. I've been working all day and he's been working all day too. Like, but then it's even worse because as a single parent, you don't have nobody to send your child to. Like, your bedtime is 5 o'clock, bitch.
I was talking to my mom because she can't drink. Like, she cannot hold her liquor. She smells a margarita and she's drunk. And I was like, you're so lame. And she was like, Ulsa, I had you when I was 21.
Oh,
you took my drinking year.
Yeah.
And she was like, and then after that, I was so worried when I went out that something would happen to me. Like, that's all you had. You didn't have anything else.
Yeah.
If something happens to me, you're screwed. And
right.
I was like, I mean, I guess.
I guess.
I was like, wow, damn, that's really stressful.
I just can't imagine that.
How did you make it? I know.
Seriously.
It's too much. It's too much.
And even when you get sick, like as a single parent, like, you can't just take off work. What if you're on your last leg at your job and they're like, if you call in one more time with your sick ass child, we're going to fire you. Like,
what are you supposed to do?
If you're running late because you didn't want to get up or what, you know, your school drop-offs.
That's why my mom had another one so then I could babysit.
Oh, that's very true. And then you and your brother, how many years apart?
8.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every time Absolutely. He was sick, she'd be like, you have to stay home. And I was like, I want to go to school. No,
See?
You're
Perfect.
staying home with your brother.
Exactly. Versus like when we got old enough, I don't know who stayed home when we got sick. That's a very good question. Who the hell did we stay home when we got sick?
She sent your ass to school?
I don't know. Oh, you know where we went? My grandma's house. That's where we went. My parents did not take off work when we got sick. She took our ass to our grandma's house, which is her, you know, my mom's mom, because my dad's mom lived in Georgia. Or there was a couple mothers of the church.
Oh.
There was one particular mother Helen Walters. She's passed on now.
That seems like the name of someone who would really take care of a child.
She made the best sweet potato pies.
You still haven't made me a sweet potato pie.
I know I need to make one. I promise I'll make you one before March.
Year.
Right? I'll make you one for Black History Month.
We should have a Black History feast.
Oh, we are. I've already got that in the works, but
perfect. I love Black. I'm gonna read some Black authors and watch Black movies and shows.
I'll listen to them for audio.
Yeah, we can do that. You can listen to it and I'll read it.
Absolutely. Okay, but that's where we used to go. But yeah, single parents. Y'all are the true MVPs. Because Jesus, I don't see how y'all do it. Shouts
out to my mom.
Yes, shouts out to Miss Fowler. Absolutely, because that's man.
Damn, I would have thrown me away.
I would have thrown me away. I just would have left you at your grandma's. Like, you could take her now because I'm done.
My mom used to lock herself in the bathroom and cry. And growing up, I was always like, "You're so dramatic. Why would you used to do that? It made me feel so bad."
Because she probably wanted to kill you.
And now I get it. She's like, "Good Lord, I cannot beat this child."
Yeah, but you know what? I can understand why parents lose it. And they just drive their children into a fucking ocean. I can see why they do that, because parenting is so stressful. You already don't have enough money. You don't get enough rest. You're operating on fumes. You never get a day off. Then when your child gets to be a teenager and going through puberty, which is a natural thing, then you want to act like your shit don't stink and like you all that and you're an ungrateful piece of shit. I'd blow your. I won't say that. I'm gonna say that on
my thing. Is all I got is no. If I tell you no, that's all I got. If you keep doing it, that's my toolbox. I have nothing.
And then kids want to be like, but why? But why? If you don't get out of my room right now, I'm gonna knock you out.
What are we having for dinner? I don't fucking care.
Go to your father. That's gonna be my hope. Go to your father. Ask your father. Well, he told me to come back to you. Ask him again. Because I'm not answering. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, shouts out to all the single mothers out there. And the single fathers as well too, because there are a lot of single fathers that are out there that are raising their children full time. And sweet Lamb of God, man. I don't even know how we started talking about single parenthood. Oh, babies and L&D. Eggs over easy. Yes. Got it.
You got it. You're good.
Absolutely.
All that to say, I'm so happy I get to come home to a quiet house.
Listen.
And sit my ass on the couch and go to sleep.
Jesus. Because the naps that I take, if y'all don't know, I take 4 to 6 hour naps at a time. So
they're sleeps. Anything after 3 hours is a sleep.
Listen, and you better eat some cereal. There are nights where I just go to bed, got a house full of food. I don't feel like cooking nothing. I'm going to eat cereal.
And you can.
And I can.
There's nights where I eat half a piece of cheesecake and have 2 glasses of wine.
Exactly.
Dinner for me, a grown adult woman in a household with no kids.
Yeah, I'm grateful that my house is nice and quiet because I know it's not gonna be like that forever. And
That's true.
When I get married and have kids, I already know it's gonna be on and popping. That's why parents be so ready to get their kids out of their house. Be like, no, you're independent. You get out. Don't come back. No, don't come back. As soon as you go off to college, we're gonna renovate your room so you don't ever feel comfortable to come back. I totally get it. But anything else we need to discuss before we get out of here and let these people go?
Once again, if you're hiring and you think we'd be a good fit for your job, I'm looking for adding a little bit of spice to my life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if you have, radio stations, hey, we're a dynamic duo. We're amazing.
We're DDs.
What? Dynamic duo. I was like, what?
We got a face for radio. We're ready.
I have a face for TV too. I mean, I'm trying to get my skin under control because my eczema is
Here's my thing. I was watching Emily in Paris.
Ma'am, you're on camera.
That would be the ADHD.
Yeah.
Do you watch Emily in Paris at all?
No.
Okay. I'm watching the 2nd season of Emily in Paris. Wouldn't recommend, so don't even bother with it. But Lily Collins is so skinny. You know how the camera adds 10 pounds? And you know the camera adds 10 pounds because you see yourself in person and you're like, oh, okay. All right, whatever. And then you see yourself in a picture and you're like, I swear to God.
Yeah.
I have put on weight. This woman is so tiny on camera. I cannot imagine how small she is.
In real life?
In real life. I don't know why I started talking about that.
I don't either. I was trying to figure out where you were going, but
I just don't
we were talking about hiring and getting jobs because she's in Paris working.
I will say the good thing about Western medication is that it makes me focus and be productive as a member of the society.
I don't think that was just a focus moment. Did you not take your Vyvanse before you came in?
No, I don't take it on the weekend.
Why not?
I let my nervous system chill.
And this is the
result.
Well, our podcast is doing good, so it's a sacrifice you must make.
That's true. I could be a little crazy for the viewers.
So when we get famous, you cannot take your meds.
I won't. I'll be.
Will you be on time though? At least
never. I have no concept of time.
God.
And I blame that
So
on
I'm
my
going to have to
diagnosis.
keep constantly, like, be responsible for
Haven't
you.
you seen all those TikToks? Time does not work the same way it does for you that it does for me.
God
like,
damn.
there is no... like, 5 minutes can be an hour to me. I don't know how to gauge that. That's why I have to have music playing, because I can know, like, oh, I heard 3 songs. Oh, it's probably been, like, 10 minutes. Or I need a clock. And I can't tell
This is
time.
going to be an exhausting partnership. I can tell you that. Because
Yeah.
if I have to keep telling you to be on time, like... But I guess it's a better, like, dynamic partnership because... both of us can't have ADHD.
No.
We'd be a disaster. And both of us cannot be type A either.
No.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess this
it's
is
just
my
like
life
when
now.
you're working with kids with autism, you got to give me like a countdown. Hey, in 5 minutes we're doing this. In 2 minutes we're doing this.
I have not had the pleasure of working with children with autism.
What? That's the best.
I just haven't had it in my career.
Let's pivot. You can be a peds therapist.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. If I can't whoop your ass, I can't work with you.
You definitely can't do that.
No.
You will get sued.
But I don't have like the kid voice either.
Yes, you do.
Come on, let's go. That's so annoying. That's so exhausting to do. Like how Kawinta, 1, 2, okay, we're gonna breathe in. You ready? Breathe in and breathe out. I can't do
But
that.
you say, oh no, my goggles.
My goggles.
See, that's a good one.
But I can't say that repeatedly. Like
no.
that's not gonna
Kids
work.
like it when you talk to them like adults, though.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, maybe
get
not.
your ass up.
Maybe not.
No?
Oof,
Okay.
That's kind of scary.
Okay.
Well, that's all I've got for you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury.
Yes. There's gonna be some other jurying going on. Anyway, but yes, thank you for listening in to another episode with the Face Off with what? It's time for us to go.
And I have the ADD. Okay, yeah, whatever.
Because it's late. That's why. It's really not. It's only like 7 o'clock. Anyway, but thank you for listening to another episode of the Face Off with Fleming and Fowler.
We appreciate everyone who listens each week. I've been hearing such nice things about us from such nice people, and I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you for the feedback.
Man, oh man, it's good to hear nice things about yourself.
Both positive and negative. Just know that the negative comments you put on, we talk about you bad.
Yeah, and to the guy who called her Harriet Tubman on TikTok.
He did.
I see you, sir. And you've been reported.
You fucking racist piece of shit. Your mother must be proud of you.
Almost
She should have
Black
swallowed
History
you.
Month. Act accordingly.
Yeah, people are crazy. And then people were saying about you like, she is old enough to know what this is. How the fuck do you know where she came from?
How old is this girl? I'm old enough.
Thank you.
To whoop your ass on social media.
Exactly. I like the confidence. I like that. I believed it for a minute.
Thank you.
I believed it.
I would never. I'd call you. I'd be like, money.
Listen, I come running. Don't you mess with my Alyssa. Don't you mess with her.
Me. I mess you up. But other than that, yeah, leave us some more nice comments on.
Yes. Don't forget to
apps.
rate us on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel and like as well too. Like even if you watch the content, just go ahead and as soon as you log on, press that little thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. More amazing content to come. So y'all have an amazing week. Spread love,
Spread light, and don't forget to laugh your face off. Go until you stop.
Okay, I'll stop it. I stopped and you kept going.
Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of The Face Off with Fleming and Fowler. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at The Face Off Pod. Be sure to tune in to The Face Off every Tuesday where new episodes are released.